4 feminine energy habits that will make men insanely attracted to you. Insanely attracted, okay? But I do have to give a disclaimer at the beginning of this video because I'm gonna lay it all out in this video. I'm not gonna hold anything back. This is no BS, the ugly truth. I'm going to go straight in and tell you what you need to hear, which means some of this content may be triggering. Okay, so if you get uncomfortable, if you get annoyed, you want to walk away, feel free to do that. Maybe once you calm down, you can come back and keep learning, but I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to tell you the truth because that's the only way we're going to really learn and develop ourselves. My name is Katie Wang. I am a dating and relationship coach. I use the power of feminine energy to attract my high value husband. And I am passionate about helping you do the same. Let's talk about feminine energy habits that is insanely attractive. Habit number 1, own your mistakes. Own your mistakes. A high value man is gonna call you out on your BS, okay? But first of all, he's not gonna do that unless you call him out. So if you're dating and you have a habit of holding back, not telling men the truth, not really being honest with them, not really being yourself, he's just going to mirror that, right? If you people please him, he's just going to people please you because high value men are highly intuitive and they always are tracking how the women they're with is feeling and where she's at. If he's not calling you out, that probably means you're not calling him out, which means there's a lot of people pleasing and a lot of lying going on in the relationship. And if that's happening, your relationship probably isn't going to go anywhere anyway, all right? High value women and men both tell the truth, right? They love themselves, they're secure within themselves, they will tell the truth and they have no problems telling the truth. So if your man is actually calling you out, meaning telling you the truth, which probably means you've called him out and you've told him the truth, now what you don't want to do is go running off to your friends and your support community to try to rally up, like your support, right? I see some women doing this online. They will post this situation where they've expressed their truth to a man and he's done the same back and she couldn't handle it. She goes on the forums and wants to make sure, did she do the right thing? And she wants all her friends to side with her, make her feel better instead of just owning what he has called her out on, owning your mistakes, right? If you don't own your mistake, high value men are just gonna lose interest. They're gonna be like, well, if you can't even handle the truth when I tell you, if you're just gonna run off to your friends and just basically act immature, then you're not wife material. I'm just going to lose interest in you. Dating a high value man, a true high value man, he will constantly call you out, and also you should do the same with him. And you have to be able to take it in as feedback, as constructive feedback. Now, there is a fine line between feedback and abuse, definitely. But this is where a high value woman will be discerning. She will know how to filter that out. She will know how to set appropriate boundaries and take the lessons she needs to take and leave the rest behind. And also set firm boundaries with him. This will score you a lot of brownie points. High value men will be like, wow, this girl owns her shit, which means we actually could develop ourselves together without a lot of lying to each other. This is good. This is inspiring. This is something I want to move towards. There could be something real here. And high value men want real. They don't want fake. They don't want lying. They want something real. Feminine habit number 2 is the ability to pivot, the ability to be flexible. My husband, before he dated me, he dated this other girl. He had a stressful job, and one day after work, he decided to go to the pub and have some drinks with his friends to de-stress, basically. He got a text message from this girl saying, oh, where are you? Do we still have a date? Because apparently they had a date planned for that night. And he had completely forgotten about it because he got so swamped with work, he just forgot about it. So he texted back, sorry, I forgot about it. Let's reschedule for another day. And she totally lost her mind. She blew up on him, sent this massive text. Basically, she couldn't believe he did that to her and acted super entitled. And he was just like, screw her. So this woman is the classic example of someone unable to pivot. When things don't go according to plan, you need the ability to be able to stay calm, stay grounded, be like, that's not a big deal. I can handle that. One of the reasons my husband fell in love with me is because I was so chill. I was so laid back. He can come to me with anything and nothing really seemed to bother me. And that was really, really appealing to him because he often has stressful jobs, right? High value men in high positions are often stressed out at work. He doesn't want to come home and also have you stressing him out with all your dramas. And why he's not doing this, he's not doing that. Like, that's a no-go for those kind of men. You have to be the safe haven. You have to be the cool one, the chill one, to have the ability to pivot, right? When things don't go well, you have to be able to stay calm. That safe haven for him to land, to feel at ease, to feel comfortable. That's really, really important. Number 3 is the ability to listen. You need to listen. A lot of women like to talk about their problems. High value men don't want to talk about problems. They just want to fix and do. They just want to solve the problem. They want to do something about it. This is very different to how women are wired. Women typically want to talk through problems because to a woman, they just want to feel better. By talking about it, by getting it out, they feel better. Men doesn't see it that way. They just think your problem is the problem and we need to solve this logically, so talking about it isn't going to do anything. That's just how they're going to approach it. Talk less, listen more. Okay, you want to listen more. High value men, when they bring you problems, it's a good sign if he is bringing you problems. It's a good sign if he's bringing up issues in the relationship. If he's not bringing up issues, that means there's a lot of lying. A lot of people pleasing going on. A lot of holding stuff in and pretending you're okay when you're really not. Okay, like that's never good for any relationship. You have to get the problems out. You need to talk about it. Also, if a man tells you what a problem is and you shut him down, that's just training him. He can't talk to you about problems. They will just be like, well, I can't talk to her about anything. I can't actually be myself around her. Therefore, I can't build anything real with her. There's no point then. Why am I in this relationship then if I can't actually tell her my problems? What is really going on? He's just gonna think of you as a for now girl, right? He will never look at you as a wife because he can't bring you problems. You can't actually sit down and maturely talk through them and work through them. He's gonna categorize you as a for now girl. That's how he will look at that. So you want the ability to sit and listen to him and really, really listen. Understand where he is coming from. If you're sitting there and if you're just feeling angry and you're like arguing with him in your mind and you're not really listening, that's not listening, right? You just being quiet doesn't necessarily mean you're listening. The way you really listen is if the anger starts to disappear. This is how you know you're really listening, because the only reason you're angry is because you don't understand him. And the only reason you don't understand him is because you haven't listened to his side of the story. He hasn't told you his side of the story. So when you really listen, you understand him, which means then you drop into compassion, which automatically dissipates the anger. The last habit is don't take it personally. If he doesn't call you after a great date, it must be because of you, right? If he's still talking to other women, it must be because you're not good enough. If he's not committing to you, it must be because you're not good enough. It must be because of you. Think about it from the other person's perspective. If he has to constantly look over his shoulder and check to see if you're okay when he opens the door, that is so stressful and not fun at all. Like, no one wants to be in that situation. Don't take things so personally. And I have to tell myself and my husband this too, by the way. I will tell him I want something and he'll immediately get angry because he thinks he has to get that thing for me. And I have to remind him, okay, hang on a second. This has nothing to do with you. I just want that thing. I'm not saying you have to get it for me. Don't take it personally. Don't make everything mean something about you. Like, I have to tell him that. And he has to tell me the same. He will come home stressed out, quiet, distant, and I will think he's annoyed at me for something I did earlier in the day. Then he'll say, no, it's nothing to do with you. I'm just genuinely pissed off about work. We make everything mean something about us. It's crazy when you think about it. So really pay attention to this. Don't take things personally. It's probably not about you. So why is this so great? Let's think about it from the other person's perspective. Most people are consumed by their own nonsense all day, every day. right? We're just so self-obsessed most of the time with our own problems. If a man is consumed as he normally would be, right, about himself and his issues and his insecurities and the problems he is facing, and you don't make it mean something about you, which means you don't direct the attention onto yourself, but you keep it on him, to a man, that will feel like, oh, you're actually paying attention to him. You're actually making him feel important. Maybe you care. Maybe you're on the same page. Maybe this woman is on my side and could be a teammate for me because she seems concerned about me just as concerned as I am about me. Right? Now you're on the same page. Now he feels there's a connection between the two of you. From his perspective, he just thinks, wow, this girl is amazing. She's on my side. She's supporting me. She doesn't make it mean about her. She gets me. In your silence, in your neutrality, he's going to feel acceptance. There's going to be a feeling of acceptance, a feeling of you're listening to him. Now, what's important here is that you are neutral. You don't go trying to necessarily solve his problems. This is like the other mistake I see women make is they try to go in and solve his problems, right? He's consumed with his problems and she also becomes consumed with his problems. And actually what he feels is that he is a hopeless case. If he's consumed by his problems and you're also trying to fix it and you're maybe getting frustrated that he's not fixing it or you're not fixing him fast enough, then it's going to feel more helpless for him. You actually want to stay neutral, but you also don't want to make it mean something about you. You just want to be neutral. You just want to observe him and just let him have it. So let's recap. Number 1, own your mistakes. Number 2, the ability to pivot. Number 3, listening. And number 4, don't take it personally. So your ability to do these things and have these things as a habit and do these things habitually comes down to you and your relationship with yourself. At the core of every single relationship you ever have in your life is you and the relationship with yourself. So you must start there. Ask yourself this question. Do you tell yourself the truth? Do you own your own mistakes? Do you take responsibility for the things you have done in your life? Okay, are you showing up for yourself in that way? Are you able to pivot yourself? Are you able to redirect your brain from worry to feeling grateful? Do you listen to yourself? Do you pay attention to yourself, right? Or are you constantly distracting yourself with things? And so you don't have to listen to your brain and what you're thinking. Are you taking everything personally? Do you make everything mean something about you, something negative about you? If you are, then you need to take care of yourself. Sort yourself out, love yourself, so you have the mental capacity, the mental space in your brain to then give to other people, to take care of other people. Because you cannot give to others if you're running on empty. If you want to be really smart about finding love, then you need to listen to this. I think most people kind of just think it's down to randomness and down to luck, and it's really not. It's more about intention and energy than people realize. And I see most people kind of just fumble and bumble their way through the dating experience, and then they end up somewhere random and then they get frustrated because they didn't get what they thought they were going to get. I decided to put together this simple little guide for you. This maps out your first 90 days of dating someone. This is a step-by-step, week-by-week breakdown of all the things to expect in your first 90 days, all right? So if you have questions like, well, I don't know what I should be doing. I don't know what red flags to look out for. I don't know if he's really into me. I don't know if I should invest in this guy or what I should do. Then you will want to check out this guide that will answer all those questions for you, make it really simple. You can grab that absolutely free in the link in my description. So that's all from me this week. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, any feedback, just make a comment in the link below. I would love to hear from you. And if you have any suggestions too for future videos, you would like to see any points you want me to go deeper into, please drop that in the comments below as well. I'm always looking out for like what I can do, what more information I can give to you girls to make it more clear, more easier, more enjoyable for you. Put any of your suggestions down there. Okay, that's all from me this week, and I'll talk to you next week.